Good morning. Nobody's there yet. I was talking to nobody. I know I'm on early today. Oh, I gotta adjust the camera. Probably a good idea. There we go. Ugh, that's a little better. Hi. I don't know who's there. Who's there? Hello. Hey. Oh, well, they don't come on command. You just gotta wait till it shows up. They're definitely I used to force them when I was in high school, and that was definitely a mistake on my part because I think I made it uh something that actually happens more frequently than it probably would have if I hadn't done that. Oh, what's going on here? I've got this tufty thing. Oh, I need light. That's what I. Oh, wow, what a difference. I got these new strip lights. They're magnetic. Boop. They look like this. They they don't last as long as I would like. Um, but for $20, you get two. They're USB rechargeable. Oh, there's a little one. um, yeah, so not bad. I'm still making. I'm running slow this morning, but I have an announcement to make, so I'm hoping to see a couple more people come in before I say what I want to say this morning. But how are you in Florida? Are you guys freezing your butts off or did it warm back up again? A little tremor. That's right. It's just a little one. When I was a kid, I'd let it out, and then my dad would say, "You got another one for the West Coast audience?" Because we were on the East Coast. That was always the. And every once in a while, he'd get one. Hello, good morning to this second lovely person who has joined us. It's hot again. Yes. Oh yeah, aren't you around like St. Augustine or something like that? I feel like or you just asked me about St. Augustine. Yes, I'm one of those people. I do remember the conversations I have with people, and I do remember names. Um, but I have to do it a certain way, right? Like, so I have this thing. I will never forget somebody if I've been able to yeah, okay, cool. I remembered. I love that. I can do it if I have a memorable experience with the person and it doesn't have to be huge. So for me, it was you triggered a memory for me of my time in St. Augustine, and then I got to tell you about it. And in that, boom, I now will always remember my ancient map friend from St. Augustine. And that's how that works for me. And I remember Gretchen because Gretchen is from Montana and we talked about Montana. And I remember Sonia because she was talking about enjoying the lives, and that was the first time I'd ever really heard that. Um, yeah, so there's just this how things stick for me. And plus, if I mention someone's name back to them, that helps too. But let's see. It's time to do a little shuffling. I gotta get to stuff. I have an appointment in a couple hours, and I have to be ready for it. It's an early morning for me today. I would like most of my mornings to start early, quite honestly, because I'm a morning person. I would prefer. I like, I wake up with the desire to accomplish, right? So the sooner I can get to accomplishing in the day, the better off I am. Um, my friend just gave me this tallow and beeswax. I absolutely love what it's doing for my skin on my face. Because I don't usually use I don't use anything, quite honestly. I have a hydrating mist that I use on my face. That's it. Because most stuff I just really don't like how it feels when it goes on. It goes on super greasy and I don't like it. This is really nice. And it just feels smooth and then it just goes right into my skin and doesn't leave a weird film on my face, which I find most moisturizers do. I find they just sit on top of my skin. They don't actually go into my skin. I know, boring, Marion. But this is made, actually, it was made by the same woman who made my gorgeous petal pops, which I'm about to put in my hair because they make me so happy. I have the, I just gotta get my nose. From wearing my glasses, this whole area gets super ouch. Oh, I lost somebody. I'm sorry. Well, I know. So, this morning I'm getting ready because my appointment's at 10 a.m. And oh, I'm very excited. All right, well, I may have to say it again, but for the benefit of if it's still you, my ancient map friend, um, I'm getting a trailer. I know. I'm so excited. One of my followers, whom I met here in New Mexico back in 2021, they're actually the same person who gave me this beautiful box that is also my easel and carries a lot of my supplies. Yeah, they had to go back east, and in that, didn't want to deal with the hassle of the trailer. And when I asked about their trailer, they were like, well, you can have it if you can get it out of storage. And so I did, and it's coming today. I'm very excited. Woo! Thank you. It is 7:21 in the morning. Well, yeah, obviously. Excuse me. I love these. Isn't this gorgeous? Look how pretty they are. And she hand sews them. They're so beautiful. She's the real Miss Janet. The real Miss Janet on TikTok. She's also on YouTube. But she sews these gorgeous petal pops. And, I mean, you can wear them on your clothes if you want, right? Simple, or on a hat or whatever. But I have all these little wispies that drive me absolutely nuts. And so I love having them to hold. And it's pretty. And then I always feel like so smiley when I put them on. They make me very happy. Oh, I think this is. Oh, I love this. I used to have a littler one than this, and I would have to make like 3 cups in order to get enough coffee. This, just make one, and it's enough, and it's so wonderful. I like my espresso. It's just like espresso and a little bit of sugar, and I'm a happy girl. Mm. And I'm working on another commission. I'm so excited. Yeah, so the trailer is coming at 10 o'clock. I have to go over to the place and then lead them back here. Um, and it is full of stuff. So I have to go through it. But it's all stuff that's usable for the trailer, which is really wonderful. Sorry, guys. I think I have something in my eye. Oh, man. Oh. And it's probably just a blood vessel. I can't see. What am I thinking? Probably just a blood vessel. Oh, annoying. Okay, sorry. Yes, this is my full-size mirror. And that's, I mean, I'm so, okay, so what, wow, the trailer is so super exciting to me because of so many reasons. One, it's big enough for me to have everything I need. And that means like being able to have my studio in the same space that I live in. And I need to work on larger paintings in order to make money. That the sale of the larger paintings is what really pays the bills. The small ones keep me fed, but the big ones are where my rent gets paid. So, because I can't, you know, here's the thing, like my little ones still take a, you know, a period of time to create, and the big ones are, you know, with gouache, everything has layers and it's drying, and it's my process that I do. Um, I know I'm not alone. I mean, other people work that way. Just it's time consuming, and so a large painting takes, you know, it's 8 to 10 layers of working. All right. And then um yeah, and it has to dry between each one. And so the cool part is that I will be able to work on small pieces and large pieces at the same time in the same space, which is really big deal. So while one is drying, I can work on another one, you know, and that I haven't been able to do that in this space because I have to pack everything up. And I was using a friend's studio, but because we're getting into the months where it's getting warmer, Nugget can't be in the van in that kind of heat closed up for that length of time. So it's just not safe for her. And I don't paint freely knowing that she's out in the van. I am worried the whole time that she's not okay. So it doesn't work out. So I'm so excited because once I get the trailer cleaned out, yes, I still have to make the money to pay to put it somewhere. But I am confident that I can do this. I know it's time for me to have this. So I am just going to keep moving forward. And so cool thing is that inside this trailer, I know that there is at least one kayak, if not two, which is super cool. Immediately my friend's like, sell the kayaks. And I'm like, slow down, slow your roll. I'm not totally unable to kayak yet. I mean, yes, kayaking will probably put me out of commission for a period of time, but there's a couple of views I'd really like to get, and I'm willing to put my body through the ringer to get these images so that I can paint them. Sometimes I'm willing. It depends on what it is. Um, yeah, because if I, kayaking is probably gonna like my shoulder is probably not gonna like that very much. Neither is my wrists, neither are my hands. But it is something that I can do slowly and do go at my own pace, so I don't have to like really hurt myself in the process. Um, so it's a different, and it's not quite like the minutia of playing guitar, right? Guitar is very different. When I'm playing guitar, like using these fingers the way that I do and strumming the way that I do, shoulders, hands, wrists. I mean, I've put my left hand out of commission for weeks after just playing guitar for 15 minutes. But, you know, depends on what it is I'm doing. Anyway, I'm super excited. And then inside also, I believe is a grill. We opened the door and right in front of us was this massive generator. So it's got what it needs, right? And I'm like, oh. And uh it's a 26 footer. I know. It's huge. It's 26 feet. It's a Sprinter Keystone. It's a 2016. So it's not super old, but it's not super new, which is fine by me. And the coolest thing is this, like, I'm gonna get the place all cleaned out, and the guy across the street does detailing. So because I can't do the cleaning, if I give myself that job, it will never get done. Because cleaning is one of those tasks that for me has so many steps in it that I get nothing accomplished. I'm just not when it's that big of a job. So it's too overwhelming for me. So better that I have somebody just come and do it, because then it'll get done and it'll be done, and then I can maintain what's done. That I can handle much better. So it's got a queen at the head, and then at the tail next to the bathroom are bunk beds. And then it's got a dinette and a couch that opens up into a bed. But I know that the air mattress in the couch is defunct. He was trying to fix it the last time I saw him, so I know it wasn't working right. Yeah, so I've been in this trailer. I know this trailer. Not like in and out, but I mean, I've been in it. So I know what it feels like. I know what it looks like. There was a dog that lived in there. So, that's the reason for the detailing. So Nugget doesn't decide that she has to mark the place up in a way that I would not like her to do that. She's never done that before, but I don't need her starting now. Yeah. So super exciting. And then so the trailer becomes then my home base and my nexus where I can store completed artwork and, work and live and function when I am not traveling. Also, then I can start saving for another vehicle to travel in. And that vehicle then doesn't have to meet certain criteria. So originally, I was like, oh my God, I got to have a box truck. I got to be able to, stand up. I had all of these requirements because I thought I was going to be living in it full time. But since I have the trailer, I don't have to go for all those requirements. I can get something almost exactly like what I have. So I would love another Ford Econoline because I love them. I really do. I think they're fabulous. Uh, Bougie bougie. And, I want something that I can go off-roading in. I had a conversation with a friend about that because I was just about willing to settle for a van that had 15-inch rims, right? And it was one of those conversion vans that are kind of low to the ground. Um, and my friend's like, dude, you are loving your 16-inch rims and your elevated springs. You have super clearance right now. if you go backwards, that means you're not going to be able to go to a lot of the places you've even already been to that you might want to go back to. And I was like, oh, that's a good point. So I've been letting that sit for a little while, but eventually a new van, or new to me van, right, to travel in. And the cool part about this RV park that I want to bring the trailer to is that while I'm traveling, I can move it from the spot that I'm in to a storage spot on the property and only pay $50 a month to store it while I'm traveling. Because I don't plan on taking the trailer. The trailer is going to stay put because I don't want to move that around. That's too much for me to think about. If I was traveling with a companion who could be in charge of all that stuff, I I would totally be cool with it, but I can't be responsible. I can't remember to brush my own teeth half the time. So let's not go there. Oh, but anyway, yes. So super duper excited about a trailer. Oh. And having some issues with my forearm this morning. It does not wish to function. Oh. There we go. Sometimes if I just rub the muscles, they'll loosen up enough for me to be able to get them to do what I need them to do. So right now, this is what I am working on. Eee. I finished my little Montana, which I should show you. Ah, whoopies. Did you see me working on Montana? I don't know if you did. Yes, I had a, okay, so here is my little Montana. Oh, hi. Okay. And this is, all right, so I have my little Montana that I just finished this week. And this was on the road between Red Lodge and Absaroka, Montana. And then I got a request to do a larger version of my Oregon coast. So I am, oopies, there we go, put you over here, in the process of another Oregon coast. So this is going to be, this is 5 by 8 inches the size. And I'm super excited because I love getting, when I do these little ones, the idea for me is, one, it's a study of what I would like to do larger eventually, right? But I finish them because I can sell them. I see no point in not doing that. You know, I have friends who use sketchbooks, you know, and I used to use a sketchbook, and every once in a while I still do. I just struggle with holding the book, which is why I don't like to use it. But I just do small paintings instead of using a sketchbook. And that small sketch always evolves into a finished painting. So I always end up with something finished that I can sell. Um, and I do keep some of the studies I have in sketchbooks, but for the most part, my brain wants to complete it. So. Uh-oh. Ah, darn it. Somebody's gone. Well, you come back. I got a new brush. Very excited. Ah, my new. Oh. Nope, nobody's there. Talking to an empty room. Oh, well. I just do my work. What time is it? It is 7:39. Okay. Mm-mm. Okay, let's see if I can do it like this. Ah, there we go. And then there was a light. There we go. And I don't have my laptop out, which is kind of an issue. All right. So, I'll put this out of the way. You over here. And oh, whoops. Nope, that's just going to be in my way. Put you over here. Now, this is a pointless light. And so is this. Shut that off. These are no longer in use because you're just not bright enough to do what I need. Oh well, what a bummer. I got these strip lights hoping they'd be bright enough. They're really not. I mean, they are when they're first charged, but then after being on for like 3 seconds, they're no longer great. So this is what I'm working on today. I'm in the middle. This is another commission of a smaller painting that I did of the Oregon coast, and I was asked to do it larger. And I always tell people, you know, I never make exactly the same painting, so just know it's not a print, and that it's gonna look a little different. I got a new brush too. I'm super excited. So I have somebody who's been sending me a little bit of something something on Cash App, and I really appreciate you. And the last time you sent me, you were like, for a new brush. Hello, Connecticut, Chris. Hello, hello. So I got myself a 2-inch silver black velvet. I'm not using it today. But this, I'm super excited. I've been waiting to get my hands on one of these brushes for a really long time. $140. I know. But it was necessary. But I did sell that large painting, so I made sure that I gave myself $300 to spend on art supplies. And one of the things I wanted to get myself was this brush. I also got a large watercolor board, which is 20 by 30. And that's, I'm going to be working on that soon. Hopefully, as soon as I get the trailer cleaned out, before I even move it, because I'm not gonna set it up here, because I'm at a friend's house and I can't plug it in. So to have electricity and stuff, and it's not set up with solar, and I don't want to run a generator and all that. Anyway, but what I can do is set up my big table in there and at least start working on this large painting, because I need to be able to make the money to move the trailer to the RV park where I want to keep it. Yeah, I know. It's a process. Good morning, Van Goodwin. It's good to see you. So, not only did I get this awesome 2-inch silver black velvet brush, because it is awesome and I can't wait to use it. I replaced my permanent yellow deep, my cadmium yellow, which seems to have vanished. I had a tube of it, and I think somebody walked off with it by accident. I was showing them stuff. I think they just put it in their pocket by accident. I'm going to tip that up a little bit more. And then I got 2 new colors to add to my palette box. I was going to buy a tube of turquoise, but I decided instead Oh, I'm sorry. It's freezing and raining in Missouri. We were freezing and raining yesterday. We had snow yesterday on the mountain, which is that's now twice in one season, which is unusual. We usually only get one snow and then it's gone. Anyway, so I got turquoise was what I was going for, but then I saw this cobalt turquoise light and I thought I want to try it. So it's, I already mixed this color to a certain extent, but I don't know. I thought it would make like for a really awesome green when mixed with my cadmium lemon. So I'm thinking it's going to be make for a nice poppy green. And then, drum roll, I have been avoiding this color because it once upon a time was a fugitive color. It got used a lot in Impressionist paintings. And over time, it just turned to gray, right? It just lost its color. But I am trusting that this is a new... Ooh, cross-country skis? I've never been cross-country skiing. I should have tried cross-country skiing because downhill skiing was deadly for me, or close to deadly for me. I met a tree face first, like a cartoon, just all the way around and flatten my face right to the tree. It was not a fun experience for me. So, what color is this? This is Prussian blue. Dun, 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 dun. I know you can't see it. I'm like holding this up like it's gonna bing, and it can't because I can't make it zoomy. Anyway, Prussian blue. I originally was going for indigo, and I sat there. I debated over this for like a good 20 minutes, sitting there in front of the paint supplies, because Prussian blue has not a good history. But I am trusting that these are newer pigments, that the light fastness that it claims to have, because it's calling itself a Series 1, it should be good. Um, oh, I missed that. Burnt umber is your nemesis. Do you know I love mixing my own burnt umber? I don't buy browns. I mix my browns. I have found that I succeed so much more in accomplishing um, the tonal quality I want, but also the luminosity I want out of it. Oops. Just fling. But yeah, and I would say like I have burnt umber. I have a tube of it. It hangs out, but I haven't used it in 2 years. I started mixing my own browns 2 years ago, and I just have not gone back. I even come out with like a really awesome looking sienna, raw sienna, and and I love that I can like change uh the value and the tonal quality of it with just a little bit here and a little bit there, and it becomes really cohesive with the painting that I'm working on. I like it. All right, so this was my haul. And with the brush and these 4 paints, $239. That's all I bought. So, art supplies tape cheap. And I got this brush because doing larger paintings, I needed a bigger brush. The one that I was working with, I bought was a 3-inch stain brush, so used for wood staining. And it held way too much water. I couldn't even blot it. It would take like 4 paper towels to blot it. Yeah, it's getting crazy. But like I went to the art store and I'm like looking at all of my favorite products. They're all French. And I'm not switching. So I am going to keep painting on my favorite products and with my favorite pigments and with my favorite brushes. That's all there is to it. No, it's not that 3 inches wasn't enough. It was too much. Well, and it was the fact that it was a stain brush for wood. So this is a watercolor brush, right? Very specific kind of watercolor brush. Still stiff. It still has starch. I don't want to unstarch it right now. But you see this thickness right here? The stain brush I was using was like this, okay? So the amount of water that would get into that brush was too much water. I had no control over the water. And with gouache, water control is absolutely everything. And I used that big brush because I was working on these big sheets of paper and I needed to get the sky in one swoosh, right? So, yes, truth. Yeah. So these silver black velvet brushes are just gold when it comes to doing watercolor skies. And when I am working in gouache in the sky especially, I like to keep it more translucent. I mean, not this one. This is a cloud sky, but an overcast. And but this, yeah, I'm looking forward to using it. I'm super excited. Oh, whoops, this dropped. I was like, I had 4. Where'd it go? Didn't even feel it fall out of my hand. Okay. So now, let's get to work on this baby. 7:53. All right. And open that. Always I do that, and I never need. And this one. Okay. There's that. I need to put this away. Good morning! Nugget is curled up on the bed, sound asleep. She is happy as a clam right now because I have the heater on. And so she doesn't have to be in my lap. Yeah, no. No, you can't. Although brushes that look like Eugene Levy's eyebrows can come in super handy when you're painting grasses. Things with lots of texture. It's wonderful. They have their purpose. They have their purpose. I saw something else here. I want to buy the bigger ones and cut my own detailed brushes using pencils for holders. Ooh. Don't do that to me, Van Goodwin. I am wicked crazy about details. You know this. So I have been saving Nugget's whiskers because I'm thinking about creating detail brushes using her whiskers. Right? Like, can you imagine how cool that would be? Ah! Yeah. See how excited I am? I can't even make words right now. Ah! Oh, so now I have 5 people here. Here's the really super good news. All you can do is practice. Yes. Truth. And I don't look for perfection anymore. That's something that doesn't happen for me, but I do get excited about making details. That's fun. The more often I can like change out how I create those details is even more exciting. And one of the things I'm excited about doing with this new brush is an entire painting with just this brush. So without pulling out a detail brush. That's what I wanted to accomplish, is one whole big painting with just using this brush. Ah! I know. It's going to be fun. I'm going to do it. I am. And so now that I have a few of you in here, good news, my trailer, yes, I have been given a 26-foot Sprinter Keystone 2016 trailer. And I'm going to get it today. And we're going to put it here at my friend's house for now so that I can clean it out because it was a friend of mine's. And I know, oh my God is right. My heart. So I still have to make money to pay rent to put it someplace. But the fact of the matter is that I have a trailer, which means then I can have a studio inside my home with me. So my early morning painting sessions can be with my big paintings too, as much as little paintings. And I can work on multiple pieces at the same time. Nugget is going to have a place where she can run back and forth and maybe lose a couple pounds because she needs to lose a couple pounds. She's a bowling ball. She hits that sucker is heavy. She looks like a little Rubenesque kitten laying there on the bed right now. Just all splayed out. I can't show her because she blends in with the black blanket that I have on the bed. It just looks like floop. mm. But so I'm super, super, super excited. Um, yeah, so the RV park where I want to put it is $350 a month. That does not include electricity or water. He said the bills for those come to anywhere from $100 to $200 a month, depending on how much electricity you use, yada, 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 water, blah, blah, blah. The good thing also is that they have a clubhouse, and in the clubhouse, they have showers and laundry. Yes, there's also room in the clubhouse, he said, for me to have additional studio space. What? I know. And you know what that means? If I can make the ching on the larger paintings that I'm doing, I can buy supplies to start working in oils because that's what I'd like to grow into. I love using gouache. I will always use gouache, but I'd like to start working in oils as well. So, and that's a major investment. I cannot do that without having a place where I can keep all that solar and generating my laser solar. Yes, and I do want to eventually like upgrade the trailer to solar so that I don't have to rely on the grid. Um, but that's an expense. So until I have to like save for all this stuff. I've I've only just started a savings account and it's already gotten pretty dwindled down with the stuff I've had to take care of. But um I have hope. Like I got this painting commission. Granted, this was a family member, so they got a little bit of a deal. But I am hoping to get more um commissions as well as when I'm painting larger, those larger painting sales help in actually like growing my savings in a more of a leaping bounding manner so that I can actually accomplish these things. Because I am going to need a new van. This chassis is not long for the world. I am looking to buy used tires for the van so that I can get it to live a little bit longer. Yeah. Yeah. So I used to have a Jackery 1000 and I had 2 solar panels with it. The solar panels got destroyed in the wind, and I ended up getting another set of solar panels, not from Jackery, but from Dokia, which were really good, by the way. And they worked fabulous. And then when I was around San Antonio, Texas, a couple years ago, somebody drove up and threw my Jackery and solar panel in the back of their truck and drove off. So there went $1,600 of investment in the back of somebody's truck. So I have not been able to replace that. And I decided that there was no point in me replacing it until I knew exactly what I was going to evolve into. And now that I know this is it, I think what I would like, I've been looking into the anchor systems. I've also been looking into EcoFlows. So I'm actually thinking EcoFlow, but there's a couple of systems that you can, have a large system with a smaller system to be able to use as a portable system as well. So that when I do go on road trips in my new vehicle, then I will be able to have portable power to take with me on those trips. But from now on, this person is only using mounted solar panels so that nothing leaves the inside of the space. I don't trust putting anything of value outside my rig anymore. It's way too risky. I can't afford to replace things that are stolen from me. So yeah, That was a really traumatic experience. I learned the hard way. Yeah, and the trailer is going to be a home base. It's not going to move around. I'm going to put it somewhere and it's going to stay there. And then that way I don't have to have a box truck or something, right? Because I'm not going to be living in it full time. So I can have another van like this to travel in. It just broadens what it is that I can look for to travel in, right? Because I have 16 states left on my list. 2 of them are not, one's Alaska, one's Hawaii. So 14 states to drive to. And then after that, I'll be seasonally traveling because the heat in the summers here is just pretty oppressive. But also because I have other projects in my mind. And right now, I'm painting this country as it is and the transitions that it's going through. And it'll be interesting because like some of the projects I've had in my head are like I want to do a national parks tour and do paintings of all the national parks. And so I have a national park series. There are certain states that I want to go back to and really spend a lot of time in. Because I feel like I had to blow through them too quickly. So there's that. Yeah. All right. Stop fiddling, my dear. And was are we doing today? I've got to work on developing these rocks a little bit more. This hillside I just started to define. And I should put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. You go to, whoops. Ah, shoot. Where's... There we go. I try to make the image on my computer screen the same size as what I'm painting so that I have an idea of perspective. I've changed it a little bit, but not a lot because the person who commissioned this had very specific requests. There were things about the little one that they really, really loved and they wanted to still see. So that's what I'm making sure to accomplish. I want to, Marion, glasses. I suddenly, if you watch television in the 80s in the Northeast, you may remember the commercials for the Pearl Vision Center that were, "Get glasses, Alice, get glasses." And every time I'm looking for my glasses, that's what I think of. Get glasses, Alice, get glasses. And now I need 2 pairs of glasses. I considered bifocals, but then I found out I actually need trifocals. So I was like, yeah, no, not happening. I get dizzy enough as it is trying to walk around without all that going on. All right, now, who do I wish to have with me today? We are going to be working on the little hillside. So I think you are my friend because we're going to blend. There's a kind of a rock face that comes up. This needs to actually come a little bit, this needs to be a little bit more, and then this needs to come around down here a little bit more, but not by much. Okay. So let's grab a little purple. I forgot to grab me a blotter. I need to blot. Yeah, so imagine if I was using that big giant stain brush. Oh my gosh. I could not get water out. I could not ever get enough water out of it, and it was a real bitch to work with. I was working on 300-pound Arches watercolor paper at the time, so the paper could handle it. Thank goodness I had paper that could handle it. All right. Just coming in with a little bit of light now. We want to define these, bring these forward. So I want to be able to see that you can walk on them. So we got some tops to these rocks. Doot. All right, don't touch those yet. There we go. I like that. Whoops. I made you a little too round. There we go. Now I'm just gonna make some holes in here and make it look a little less edgy. There we go. Dark green, and I don't want to lose this, So I really love this right here, but I don't, let's see, maybe if I just do this. So these little, this is why I love gouache, because this is just a little bit of water on the brush, and I'm reactivating paint that I put on here yesterday to kind of move it around and create more of a natural, so it feels like the vegetation. Yeah, I like it to feel like the vegetation. Also, I want to show the slope. Oops. I want to show. Alright, I want a little bit of blue. A little bit of blue on my brush. So I've been using this blue watercolor to create the shadows. Because as you can see, it becomes just a lovely complement to the dark green. And boop, 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 boop. But it stays like, it stays translucent. So it's just creates a nice another level to the shadows. Plus, it's the base color I used to mix my greens with. So it works really great as, and when you've reactivated your color, blending can happen again right on your paper. That's why I love gouache. I love being able to do that. I feel like it's, and yeah. What did I like about this one? More. So I'm using both my small painting and my image to create this because I like, uh, I really like the palette because I started this as a plein air painting. So I really like the palette of it because it was more natural to the light that I was seeing while I was there. And I think I can get some of this up to make more light under here. Got to be careful because this paper can scrub into little nubbies. It's one of the reasons why this is Canson 140 pound watercolor paper. I do like using it for my little paintings. I use it for it's in 18 by 24 sheets. So I either cut it up, tear it up, or I use the full sheet. My friend gave me a really big pad of it, so I've been utilizing that. But I will say that I much prefer to work on arches It's really a big difference. Because this technique that I'm using right now would not be jeopardizing the surface of the paper as it is with what I'm doing. And of course, what I'm talking about when I say jeopardizing the surface of the paper, I'm talking about something that, you know, a lot of artists don't think about because they're in the moment. I am a former picture framer. And there's nothing former about being a picture framer, by the way. Once you've been a picture framer, you are always a picture framer. It doesn't go away. I can never, ever get out of my head presentation and also how paper is affected by each process that I do and the longevity of it. So what I'm spotting in right now is a little red mix that I have. It's like an earthy red that I make to be in amongst the greens because, you know, there's such a thing called dirt. And I find that using this red tone for it really bounces and makes the greens more vibrant. They go boo, boo. I just saw somebody made a comment. Oh my gosh, sorry guys, I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Wait, oh my god. Okay, so since I pickup engine, I'm looking for a 14-foot U-Haul. Yeah, 14-foot U-Haul. That was like my original design concept. Yep, I think the dinette is gonna end up. It's either gonna be the couch. I think it's actually gonna be the couch that's gonna get gutted, because I'm not sure I need the couch. Mammoth hot springs and ponds and streams. Yes. So the photograph I'm painting from is the the view from Thor's Well to Cape Perpetua on the Oregon coast. Um, uh, uh, I'm so glad that you still have that work, Dee. I'm so glad. An artist in New Orleans. Ah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, framing was my first way of getting to art, you know? That's how framing was my gateway drug to art. Well, art is my healthy addiction. That's the way I look at it. Because I have an addictive personality, and there ain't much I can do about that. All right. What else do I want to add to this baby? I brought you down a little bit more. I gave y'all some tops. I kind of like this. I don't really want to mess with that because I like the light. I feel like I'm missing something in here. Yeah. There you go, Ancient Maps. That one was for you. My Florida friend. All right. I am going to do this because I would like to see a little bit of da 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 contrast right here, la la along the line. Just kind of throwing a couple little distant somebodies to create. Let's make it go like that. And then come like this and go up into the. There we go. So now I can do that, and then I can go like this. I took the pigment off the brush, and now it's just damp, and I'm touching these spots to make them turn into ridgeline shadows. So now I can go like this, push this up. And now I'm going to give you a little bit of color from this. But I do not want you to be too wet. Come here. I just want a little bit of you. Touch you in here. It's so subtle. But I want you here. Da, da, da. So, another great theme song just popped into my head. From Wild America. Marty Stauffer. Yeah. Bum 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 da 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 da. There we go. Now we got some. Now we got some texture going on. We got some depth. So I gotta make it. Ooh, yeah, we want a surface. And then we want you to be cool. And then I want coming out. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I got to let it show. got to let it show. I'm coming out. I'm coming. I'm coming. I want the world to know. I've got to let it show. I'm coming out. All right. Am I good with that? No. Um, what do I want in there? I want it to be that can lighten up there a little bit. This can lighten up here a little bit. Get a little bit of that. There we go. I need more definition in those rocks. That's what's bothering me. And it's not a big definition, just let's show some different levels. There we go. That's better. I think that's what was bugging me. Yeah, I like that much, much better. Gotta give that a little bit of shadow in there. Not too much though. I gotta remember this is in the distance. Oops. Got a little heavy. Ooh. Does that even matter? Yes, of course it does, Marion. Don't be silly. Of course it matters. What do I like over here? Um, all right. None of that happens till the end, so I can't. And I'm talking to myself right now because I'm looking at. So this is the study that I did, the little painting, which by the way is available, $75. Anyway, so this is the painting that they wanted me to enlarge, and so that's what I'm working on here. And yeah, so I'm pretty excited about how it's coming out. I do think I like the detail I could not include in the rocks here. I'm getting to include here, which is super exciting. I could bring it down a little bit more. But I also, this actual area right here is what the person really enjoyed the most. So I don't know if I can really show you. You can sort of see it. So see these twigs and branches growing up here? This is what the customer really wanted to see. They really love this spot and the spot over here. So I'm trying to make sure that in this I have that balance. And I am thinking I'm going to make this area a little bit larger because I have in the image itself and these other, it's like a spruce. It's like a blue spruce that grows and it's, oops. Well, that didn't work. Yeah, so, and you see how in the image it grows way up here. Now, I didn't want to do all of that, but I think I am going to include some of it because I think it'll look nice and it'll create a nice balance. Because the original was more square, right? And this one, they wanted more of a panoramic. So drawing it out a little bit more. So I think that's why that is going to create a nice balance over there. Eventually. What time is it? Where am I at? 8:37. Okay, I'm still good on time. All right. Let's see. Anybody ask any questions? Ah, it was good to see you, Van Goodwin. I appreciate you. You're right. I get critical pretty early on in a project. I am super critical of my own work. But no, not a but. I get there. I'm doing better. I'm doing better at not beating myself up while I'm painting. I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to include this foreground rock. Because it's not really in the foreground, it's in the distance, and I think it's going to end up becoming a distraction if I put it in there. Yeah, I'm just going to keep the ocean coming right up to here. Twiggies and trees here. Yeah, I think I might. The last thing I'm going to do is the waves. So that's the last thing I'm going to do. I am considering putting a little bit more of a defined cloud right in here. Not defined, but just, you know, bring it a little closer. Plus it'll give the sky a little more texture, and I like that idea. This is all going to be wave action coming down. So what I'm deciding right now is whether or not I'm finished with this hillside. And I think I am. I think I am. Okay. Let's see. What do we got? I am gonna start with this part right here. So this is the scary part. This is where I go in and start covering up things that I already painted. So, as many of you know, I will go through the trouble of painting the background fully and then paint my foreground over the top of it, because in my head the wind is blowing. And when the landscape moves, those things that are behind it are always still behind it. And if I don't put it there, it doesn't exist. I don't know. It's me. Ah. All right, let me rough out what I want to do. Oh, this is the part that always gives me such agita. I'll tell you what, when I did this whole background part without the waves. But the whole background part I did plein air, and it took like 4 months for me to do the foreground. Because I liked the background so much that the foreground gave me anxiety. But I don't think I'm alone. I think a lot of other artists go through that same, like, oh crap, here we go. Now I'm going over everything I like so much. But it's okay. I'm gonna be all right. All right, so I want like this sprucey junipery, but I do not want to use this brush. I want to keep you nice and nice and nice. See? Maybe I'm gonna grab one of my rounds for this particular. Yeah, like this guy. So this guy used to be like a perfect round brush. He's super frayed now because I'm brutal. Yeah. But see, these are the silver black velvet brushes. And they are like so plush and beautiful. I love them. Anyway, this is one of my Sarah Burns gouache brushes. The bristles are more stiff for painting with gouache. So I love that. And I do want to eventually buy another set of her brushes because I do beat the crap out of them. All right. All right, so now I'm going to take my anthracnone blue. Wet it. Oh, that was a lot of water. That was too much water, man. And notice again, I'm just going around the base of the bristles to get the water out, so that I still leave some pigment at the top. So I am now creating a blue base, right? Because if you really want your landscapes to have depth to them and movement, like they are real, right? Like the wind is moving, they're alive. You want to create layers of tonal quality. And one way to get that and to get decent at doing that is by painting monochromatically. I've actually had people ask me a lot if I do it, and yes, I do it a lot. Mostly you don't see it because it's an underpainting, right? So now I've got the blue down, and I am going to go in with a little bit of water just to make sure I've got some water in these areas, because I am now going to come in with my yellow over the top of it. So mixing the color on the canvas itself, on the paper itself. Why? When you're working in the foreground, especially, it really brings it into you. And that can make all the difference. So now it's a little bit wet in there, and I don't want it to be, I don't want these greens to look blotchy, so I'm going to go back in with the blue and create some texture in there. I'm not going to go too crazy, because once I go in and do my waves, I may have to redo some of this, right? But right now what I'm doing is I'm boxing off my corner. And I do want to create a little bit of, what else we got in here? So most of these are scrappy branches of the dead branches. I kind of want this to come up a little bit higher. And be a little more irregular. So I'm going to do this. Create one that comes out here and one that comes out here. That was a little too wet. That's not going to work for me the way I want it to. I have to wait. Darn it. I went in too fast on this. But I do have an idea where I want these branches to come out. I do need this to come out a tiny bit more. Do I? Hang on. Yeah, I do. I need it to be more like irregular. And I don't want to go too crazy, because I am going to have to go in here and do other things. So I'm trying not to be too Okay. That's going to give me a little bit more there. And that'll be connected by. All right, good job. You gotta feel loose. Loosey goosey. All right, good job. Stop. Stop it, Marion. Okay. Was that creepy? It might have been a little creepy. Okay. But I do think. All right, now it is 10 minutes to 9. I think that I am going to call this a stopping point for today on this painting. Thank you, everybody who joined me today. I really appreciate all of you for stopping in and checking things out. And I look forward to, I am going to do a little footage of the trailer and stuff, so y'all get to see that. So you get to see the befores, before I do anything to it. But I'm looking forward to bringing you along for that ride. It's exciting. Yay! And you'll get to see me turn this trailer into a working art studio and living space for myself. For this ADHD human, I am going to be creating a space that is functionable for me. And I'm so super excited to do that. Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next week. And I'll be able to show you a lot more. Okay. This painting will definitely be finished. But I may have shipped it. So it may have to be, you may have to just settle for an image. Okay. Bye, everybody. See you guys next time.